Let's talk about a financial move that feels so incredibly responsible, but can actually, believe it or not, hurt your credit score. It's one of the weirdest paradoxes in personal finance, and today we're gonna break it all down.
So just imagine this for a second. You did it. You paid off a credit card completely. That's awesome, by the way. Now that card is just sitting there in your wallet, collecting dust. The obvious next step is to call up the company, close the account, and maybe even cut up the card for good measure, right? It feels like the final super responsible step.
But here's the kicker. In the kinda strange logic of the US credit system, that totally sensible decision can actually backfire and cause your credit score to take a nosedive. It's one of those things that just makes you scratch your head.
So that really is the big question, isn't it? Why on earth does a system that's supposed to measure how financially responsible you are seem to penalize you for what looks like perfectly good behavior? Let's get into it.
It all really boils down to a fundamental difference in what good means. Your common sense tells you that having no debt is a great thing, but the credit system, it's not really measuring good in that way. It's measuring how predictable you are, and it wants to see a long history of you managing credit well. Yeah, this is so important to get. A credit score is not a judgment on your character. It's not a good person or bad person score. It's simply a risk prediction model. Think of it like an algorithm that's just trying to tell lenders how likely you are to pay back a loan, all based on your past behavior and stability. That's it. Okay, so when you close a credit card, you can actually damage two of the most important factors that go into your credit score, and the impact can happen almost instantly. The first hit, and it's usually the biggest one, comes from something called your credit utilization ratio. Now that sounds fancy, but it's really simple. It's just the amount of credit you're using compared to the total amount of credit you have available. Let's paint a picture. Say you have two credit cards, each with a $5,000 limit. That gives you a grand total of $10,000 in available credit. And let's say you have a balance of $2,000. Well, that means your utilization is only 20%, which lenders see as fantastic, healthy, responsible, all the good stuff.
But now, you decide to close one of those cards. Maybe it's the one you just proudly paid off. You haven't spent another dime, but you've just made a huge change to the math in this equation.
And here's the problem. Your balance is still $2,000, but your total available credit just got chopped in half, down to $5,000. All of a sudden, your utilization ratio doubles from that healthy 20% to a much riskier-looking 40%. And that's the crucial part. You didn't spend any more money, but instantly you appear to be using a much bigger chunk of your available credit. To a lender's algorithm, you look like you're getting closer to being maxed out, and poof, your score can drop. Okay, so that's the first hit. The second way your score can get dinged is a bit of a slower burn, but it's just as important. We're talking about the length of your credit history. You see, lenders love to see a long, stable track record of you managing credit. The average age of all your accounts is a huge factor. So if you close your oldest card, say that one you opened back in 2012, you just removed the very anchor of your credit history. Your average account age plummets, and your whole profile suddenly looks younger and less experienced. Now, of course, this isn't some law written in stone. There are absolutely times when closing a credit card is the smart thing to do, even knowing it might ding your score for a bit. For example, if a card has a big, fat annual fee that you just can't get them to waive, well, it's costing you money to keep it open. Or, and this is a big one, if having that credit line is a genuine temptation for you to overspend, your budget has to come first. In those cases, closing the card totally makes sense. So if closing old cards is usually a bad idea, what are you supposed to do with them? Let's go over the simple, smart strategy for managing these accounts the right way. It's really just a 3-step playbook. First, keep those old no-fee cards open. They are the bedrock of your credit history, and they help keep your utilization nice and low. Second, use them, but just a little. Make a tiny purchase once or twice a year, like a coffee or something, just to keep the bank from closing it for inactivity. And third, this is critical. Pay that small balance off in full, right away. When you get right down to it, this is all about a fundamental mindset shift. It's about stopping to see credit cards as a temptation and starting to see them as powerful tools that, when you manage them the right way, can actually build your long-term financial health. And this really gets to the core lesson here. The US credit system is often more interested in your responsible access to credit than it is in your actual usage of it.
So when you boil it all down, the system is designed to reward three key things. 1. Time, shown by having a long credit history. 2. Stability, which you show by keeping accounts open and consistent. And finally, number 3, self-control, proving that you can have access to a lot of credit without going crazy and using it irresponsibly.
So the next time you look in your wallet, think a little differently about that dusty old card you never use. It might feel like clutter, but it could actually be one of your most valuable financial tools, quietly working behind the scenes to build and protect your score. It's worth thinking about before you decide to cut it up.